is out there for you, John. But here in Denver, it's, what we're looking at is, it's calling it an extreme seller's market. It's inventory, for a metro area. For those who don't know, the Denver metro area. So Denver plus the suburbs.
Thinking about making a move or investing somewhere outside the Los Angeles area? Maybe it's somewhere else in California, or maybe it's another city or state. Hi, I'm John Bathurst with Compass and Bathurst Coastal Properties here in Manhattan Beach. I'm going to be interviewing some amazing real estate agent partners throughout the country. Maybe places you'd like to invest or maybe move to. Coming to California, I cover the entire Los Angeles coastline, and I would love to help. I hope you enjoyed the upcoming interview. Cheers. Hey there, everybody. Just wanted to take some time to introduce an amazing agent, friend of mine in Denver, Colorado, Zac Nelson. Say hello.
John, yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. So I'm going to be sending out a series of agent-to-agent communication, referrals, talking about where people are moving to, why people are moving to certain areas. Tell us a little bit about your city and what you work. And we're just going to sort of freeball this and just see what happens. And we'll get started here. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Zac.
Yeah, so I lived in Denver for the majority of my life. I've been here for 33 years or so. Moved here when I was 10, and so you can do the math on my age. Moved from Minnesota, and my mom became a realtor in 1992. So she's coming up on her 30-year anniversary.
Wow.
So that was when I was in high school, and I helped her with kind of some of the early handing out flyers in the neighborhood and helping her with some real estate related things. But never thought that I was going to get into real estate. Because what your parents do, that's not cool, is it, John?
No, it's not.
At least at that age.
We want to go the other way.
Right. Totally wanted to go the other way. But after college, I realized that I was interested in real estate. And I had been listening to what my mom was doing for the last decade before I joined her back in 2003. And so I'm coming up on 19 years myself. So I love what I do. And now we have a team where my sister, Krista, is our admin. She's our transaction and operations manager. She's been with us for over 8 years. We have another agent on our team. Her name is Jill. And then we have a client care specialist, another marketing admin, plus a videographer and photographer on our team.
Terrific. Well, thanks for sharing that. So I have a couple, a series of sort of conversation pieces I want to talk about. First, talk a little bit about the market and what you're most excited about right now for 2022.
So the market right now, I don't know how it is out there for you, John, but here in Denver, it's, what we're looking at is, it's calling it an extreme seller's market. It's inventory, for a metro area. For those who don't know, the Denver metro area, so Denver plus the suburbs, is around 3 million people. And so right now, we are entering the year, we were right at about 1,500 active listings, which is incredibly low. A balanced market would be more along the lines of about 12,000 homes for sale, resale homes for sale. So, there are certainly some challenges around that. And so, we have to work with our clients to find solutions around that. What I am excited about this year, though, is I think it is those opportunities and problem solving with those specific clients, because ultimately that's when we're working with buyers, especially working with buyers, is they're hiring us for our expertise and being able to help them get into a home, be able to responsibly beat out other offers.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing here in the Los Angeles market, specifically in all the beach communities. I'm in Manhattan Beach. And our inventory is probably sitting about 20% of normal. Extreme sellers market, as you referred to, is exactly what's happening here, and hearing that all over the country, that there's probably not many markets that actually has a balanced market, if at all. Maybe Alaska, I don't know.
Maybe so.
Certainly not here, or maybe Tonga, where there was just an earthquake.
Right.
But so I think that what I'm most excited about in this market is strategically helping my clients win. If it's a buyer, how to position them, to, win the home, even if you have to be completely honest in what it's going to cost to do that. But, that's our job to, give the information of what's going to cost to win. Obviously relationships with other agents is really, really important.
Right.
And then from a seller standpoint, gosh, the sky's the limit. Like, why not take a big chance? You're not looking to sell, but what if you could sell for this price? Right.
Right. Agreed. And what we're seeing, I don't know about you, John, but even with that kind of the sky's the limit, we're finding it still does matter what the home looks like, because buyers, of course, there are some buyers who will buy it, a home if it's subpar, just because of the lack of inventory. But that seller is not going to be getting as much as they possibly could for the house. So I think that, it's still so important for us to have those consultations and talk with them about what improvements they can make, that they can, 2, 3, 4, 5x their investments up front with some of those improvements, so that when it hits the market, then buyers see it and they love it and they're emotionally attached to it.
Yeah, totally agree. Get top dollar by making sure it's ready to go. And do you use Compass Concierge? Yes,
we do. We use it often. We have multiple projects right now going on with that, helping the homeowners get it ready, whether it's, with paint is probably one of the biggest things that we utilize it for with our painter, and then, carpet, upgrades in the kitchen, those kind of things, even cleaning, having it cleaned. That's one of the biggest things too, right? For a home to go on the market is making sure it's clean. And we also will make sure that our clients professionally clean the home, and then also have the windows cleaned before going on the market too. That's a big one.
And just to let everybody know what Compass Concierge is. Compass Concierge is a program that we do at Compass that actually upfronts the money to help with staging, cleaning, remodeling, decluttering, whatever a home, to get it in the best possible shape to sell. There's no fees, there's no interest, and we just upfront the money up front and then pay for it out of escrow. The return on investment usually is anywhere from 3 to 5x, and have had great success with that as well. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I know, love it. It's a great program.
So what do you think? So what do you think is going to happen in the market for the rest of the year? I mean, do you think that what we're experiencing right now is going to be something we're experiencing the entire year? Do you think there'll be a shift if interest rates continue to climb a little bit?
I know that's probably the biggest question around what will happen with the market, right? Is what's going to happen with interest rates. And I mean, interest rates have already jumped the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, John, we're not seeing an immediate impact with that, with buyers getting out of the markets. And obviously, if they were to jump significantly, then that might have some impact. I do think that, my prediction at least is by the end of the year, interest rates will be around 4%, which historically is still extremely low. So perhaps in the second half of the year, there will be more opportunities for buyers where there might not be as much competition if rates do keep increasing. But I don't see it having a significant impact on what's happening in the market this year. If we look at the law of supply and demand, there's just so little supply and there's so much demand for home ownership.
Does that concern you? What would you like to see, in the next 12 to 24 months happen?
And the number one thing is for more homes to come on the market, for more people to be willing to sell their homes. And I know that the big question is, what do they do once they sell if they're going to be buying another house? And there are certainly solutions out there. I know that in our marketplace, there is, a lot of people know about HomeLight. They have an offering here where it's, like a trade program. They will front the money so you can buy a home before you sell your existing. And I think that's really the big piece is where people are going to go if they are going to sell. And if there's more programs like that available, more companies that are offering that, then it's going to, give people more flexibility.
Yeah. Well, that also reminds me of a great program we have here at Compass as well, which is, bridge loan services.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say, gosh, if I sell my home, where am I going? I'll be homeless.
Yeah.
And what bridge loan services do, is allow you, if you have equity in your home, is to move forward and purchase a home before we actually put your home on the market. So that's another thing that is a great value add that we do both at Compass.
Yeah, no question. I think, and that's where we go back to the problem solving and looking at how, when we're talking with our clients or prospective clients, of how can we problem solve? Because that's really where we can help the most number of people, if we can provide the most number of options and solutions for them.
Absolutely, problem solving is number one for all of our clients, especially buyers out there. Like, right?
No doubt.
So let's talk a little bit about your market. Obviously, a lot of people are moving to the Denver metropolitan area. Like, I don't know how many referrals I've sent to you in the past couple of years, but it's been plentiful. Talk to us a little about that.
Denver is definitely a destination, and we're there's a lot of people moving from your state, John. There's no question that people are cashing out and moving here because the cost of living is less here. It's not, I mean, it's certainly well above what the national average is or median home sale price is. Right now, we are about, our average sales price is about $630,000. So, but the reason that people are moving here is, people know about the climate here and, the mountains. Denver, what a lot of people don't know is Denver is not in the mountains. There are some people who aren't from here who think maybe Denver is in the mountains. It's actually not. But we have all of that so close. So, whether it's winter sports or summer sports, that's a huge draw. But also over the last couple of years, as people have gone more remote working, that they can, live anywhere and work from home, that Colorado is a destination because of the quality of life here and the cost of living. So that's where we're getting a lot of people, from California, from Texas, from the Midwest, from New York. There's been a significant increase in that migration here. Because of the ability to work anywhere, work and live anywhere.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, just to share a little bit about, yes, a lot of people are leaving California. A lot of people are moving into California, or really where I focus, which is the coastal areas of Los Angeles. I'm in Manhattan Beach, and when you look at to the north to, Venice, Santa Monica, Palisades, Malibu, or, Hermosa, Manhattan, and Redondo beaches, people come to California because they love the beaches. We have some of the best beaches in the country. Weather is great, just like it is in Denver. You can actually surf and ski in the same day if you like to.
I want to try that someday. That sounds amazing.
I used to do that when I was younger, but not anymore. I just do one at a time. But the challenge that you have with people, especially moving closer to the beach, and we're so dense, is that the cost of living is quite expensive. The cost of a home in Manhattan Beach, average home price is about $3 million. Surrounding areas, you can get a home under $1 million here, but you are definitely compromising the kind of home you get the closer you get to the coast. And there's only so many homes available near the water. And so, if you're 2 blocks versus say a mile away, can get much more home for yourself and affordability. But you compromise the size of your home to the location, to the beach areas, as well as Los Angeles has so much to offer in terms of sports and arts and restaurants. It's amazing. So and it's about lifestyle, isn't it? Where people want, it's like if they want that beach lifestyle, they're paying a premium for it, but then it's right outside their front door. Totally.
Yeah. So, and you also brought up real quick, John, you mentioned something about, that I mentioned there's people, moving from California here, and there's people moving out of California in general. But what I've read and heard is, from various experts, is there's this great misconception that everybody's leaving California. That's not the case. I mean, there are a lot of people moving in or moving within the state to different areas. I mean, case in point, your inventory is so low and prices are going up. I mean, that's a clear indication that not everybody's just leaving the state.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've had a lot of referrals within the state, people who moved from Northern California, the Bay Area, San Francisco, or, East Bay, or even Peninsula, have moved down to the beach area. Because again, there's obviously, we're a big tech, entertainment, finance industry here. But a lot of tech people from the Bay Area have moved down to be in sunnier beach weather down here. So, but also, I also had referrals that came in from Seattle, from Denver, From Austin, Texas. Yeah, people have moved from Austin to California. Can you believe that?
Not just the other way around.
Right. What about people leaving Denver? Do people leave Denver once they get there?
A lot of people stay, but what I've seen is there are people who want more space. I had some clients this last year who they lived near downtown Denver in an old vintage, really cool home, great neighborhood. But they decided they wanted more space. They originally were going to move to the outskirts of Denver onto acreage. And then they changed course and decided they were going to move to Black Hills of South Dakota because they could get 5 acres for significantly less.
Yeah.
So we're seeing people who, whether they are looking for, now that the cost of living has gone up here, there's no question. It's becoming more expensive. Some people are just either wanting a lower cost of living experience, or they want more space. And so they're moving outside of. So that's kind of what we're seeing. The people who are leaving are predominantly in one of those two categories.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you mentioned earlier about the average home price throughout the larger Denver metropolitan area. And let's talk a little bit about some of the sub communities. Not everything you can, obviously there's homes that are well over multi-million dollars in your area, as well as, an average price. What is the average sales price in some of the other areas that you had mentioned, Denver Metro?
Yeah. So if you're looking in the city of Denver in some of the more desirable neighborhoods, and some people might know these, there's Washington Park, or it's called Wash Park. There's Lohi, which is Lower Highlands. There's Cherry Creek, which is a well-known neighborhood. You in some of those neighborhoods, for just a kind of standard bungalow that's maybe 2,000 square feet. So here in Colorado, a lot of homes have basements. So it might be 1,000 square feet up and 1,000 square feet in the finished basement. And those could easily be in the 800s, 900s, above $1 million for those. And those are not large homes by any stretch. So, and then like a neighborhood like Cherry Creek, single family homes can range up into the $5, $6, $7 million range.
Yeah.
That's kind of, so your more expensive tend to be in and around the core of downtown Denver.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go, where the price points are a little bit less, then you're going to the outer, kind of the outlying suburbs.
So you're
where you can maybe find a single family house in the 500s.
Okay.
New construction, it's almost impossible to find anything under 500,000 here. You're more likely to find something in the 600s or 700s as kind of a starting point for new construction single family here.
Gotcha. In terms of new construction, and Colorado has a lot of vacant space and new communities being built. Not everything is dense, city life and right. High end. I've seen a lot of videos that you've done in terms of new communities that are being rehabbed and or developed. What's going on there?
Yeah, there's a lot of that growth is happening east. So geographically, Denver and the Denver metro area sits up along the mountains. And so again, we're not in the mountains, but we sit up alongside of it. And the mountains are basically on the west side of the Denver metro area. But if you go east, it's kind of relatively flat and prairie lands all the way out to Kansas. So there's a lot of space, and a lot of that is out east, northeast, east, and southeast. Where that growth is happening, and so there is a fair amount of new construction that's happening out there. But when you're pushing out there, if you're to get into the city, it's definitely a drive. You've got to commute. So that's kind of the trade-off there. We can get more house, but you're just further away from everything. Gotcha.
What about investment opportunities? Are a lot of people investing there in real estate or multifamily?
Yeah, so I'm working with some clients right now who are doing that. One of the hot things here, and I don't know if maybe it's the same out there for you, John, is house hacking. And so I have one particular client who he's wanting to find a place where he can live in the house, but then also have a basement that he can convert and be able to do short-term rentals. Here in Denver, you can't own an investment property that's a short-term rental situation. You have to live in the property as a principal residence.
Okay.
So people are doing that. They're living in part of the house and then renting out the basement or the other half of the house or something like that. So that's a big thing. There aren't a lot of multifamily opportunities. People are holding on to those right now. they're because the cash flow is good, they're seeing appreciation. It's harder and harder to find those kinds of opportunities. But the last piece about this is when I'm working with clients is that the cash flow on it might not be all that great right now, probably isn't very good. But what you're buying it for is the future appreciation and future rent increases.
Yes.
So it's a little bit more of a mid to long term buy and hold, as opposed to getting that immediate great cash flow situation on it.
Yeah. That's very similar. Our cap rates here, and cash flow aren't necessarily terrific. Mm-hmm. But in terms of looking at volatility, where you might have money in the stock market or somewhere else, real estate never goes bankrupt. Mm-hmm. Land is always there. Right. And if you're in an area where there's no additional building and it's dense, it does mm-hmm. nothing but appreciate over a long period of time. Mm-hmm. So I advise all of my clients too, as we're looking at investment opportunities, is, it's not about all the cash flow today. It's about the future appreciation and future rents mm-hmm. that can cash flow later. And, if you diversify enough, you literally could be sitting on millions and millions of dollars of retirement.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, interesting. It's the same there as it is here in that way. I mean, that's a theme for sure.
I just had a little thing to add right there. So I remember back in the 90s, and mm-hmm. A friend of mine bought a $1 million home on the oceanfront called the Strand. Oh, yeah. At the time, I think the home that I purchased was $300,000, and $1 million was a lot of money. Like, oh my God, that cost $1 million on the Strand. Are you nuts? That lot, not the home, the lot in itself is worth $14 million today.
Oh my gosh. That's unbelievable.
Talk about having some foresight.
No kidding. Oh, yeah. I know.
That's just an example.
I want some of that foresight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, Zac, it's terrific. Zac's an amazing agent in Denver. If anybody is thinking about moving or investing in Denver, Zac Nelson is the person to talk with. He can actually direct you, help you, and take you in the right direction. And thanks for your time, Zac.
Absolutely, John. Thank you so much for asking me to be on here with you. And I feel the same way about you with Manhattan Beach and kind of surrounding communities. You're a great resource, and anybody who gets connected with you is going to be in really good hands.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time, Zac, and till next time.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, John.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. And if you like the content, please like it. Please subscribe for further content that I'll be posting, and make sure you follow me on social media. Have an awesome day.